My devotional this week will be a little bit different, as I'll be explaining the story of the beautiful Christmas carol, Silent Night. I'll also be playing an instrumental blues country version of this song on my electric guitar. Some of you may remember that I started studying the guitar last year, 2019. I hope you enjoy this beautiful story and the instrumental. Silent Night is a popular Christmas carol composed in 1818 by Franz Gruber to lyrics by Joseph Mohr in a small town of Oberndorf, Austria. In 1818, a roving band of actors was performing in towns throughout the Austrian Alps. On December 23rd, they arrived at Oberndorf, a village near Salzburg, where they were to reenact the story of Christ's birth in a small church of St. Nicholas. Unfortunately, the St. Nicholas church organ wasn't working. It had been flooded and would not be repaired before Christmas. Because the church organ was out of commission, the actors presented their Christmas drama in a private home. That Christmas presentation of the events of the first chapters of Matthew and Luke put assistant pastor Joseph Mohr in a meditative mood. Instead of walking straight to his house that night, Mohr took a longer way home. The longer path took him up over a hill overlooking the village. From that hilltop, Mohr looked down on the peaceful, snow-covered village, reveling in majestic silence of the wintry night. Mohr gazed down at the Christmas card-like scene. His thoughts about the Christmas play he had just seen made him remember a poem he had written a couple years before. The poem was about the night when angels announced the birth of the long-awaited Messiah to shepherds on a hillside. Mohr decided these words might be a good carol for his congregation the following evening at their Christmas Eve service. The one problem was that he didn't have any music to which the poem could be sung. So the next day, Mohr went to see the church organist, Franz Gruber. Gruber only had a few hours to come up with a melody which could be sung with a guitar. However, by that evening, Gruber had managed to compose a musical setting for the poem. It no longer mattered to Mohr and Gruber that their church organ was inoperable. They now had a Christmas carol that could be sung without that organ. On Christmas Eve, the little congregation heard Gruber and Mohr sing their new composition to Gruber's guitar. Weeks later, a well-known organ builder arrived in Oberndorf to fix the organ in the St. Nicholas church. When he finished, he stepped back to let Gruber test the instrument. When Gruber sat down, his fingers began playing the simple melody he had written for Mohr's Christmas poem. Deeply impressed, the organ builder took copies of the music and words of Silent Night back to his own alpine village. There, two well-known families of singers, the Rainiers and the Straussers, heard it. Captivated by Silent Night, both groups put the new song into their Christmas season repertoire. The Strauser sisters spread the carol across Northern Europe. In 1834, they performed Silent Night for King Frederick William IV of Prussia. He liked it so much that he ordered his cathedral choir to sing it every Christmas Eve. 20 years after Silent Night was written, the Rainiers brought the song to the United States, singing it in German at New York City's Trinity Church. In 1863, nearly 50 years after being first sung in German, Silent Night was translated into English. Today, the words of Silent Night are sung around the world in more than 300 different languages. The song has been recorded by many singers across many musical genres. The version sung by Bing Crosby in 1935 is the fourth best-selling single of all time. Before I play the instrumental, I also have a story about this beautiful electric guitar. Did you know that Pastor Ross loved guitars? This guitar was originally owned by Pastor Ross. Although I never met him personally, I now feel connected to him through our mutual love of music and this beautiful Schecter electric guitar that is now in my collection. So let's give this song a go. Happy holidays, everyone.